Well, it's December, it's dark coming into work, it's dark going home from work. Well, Christmas is coming, so that's good news, isn't it? And unfortunately, after that, that means January 31st is getting inexplicably closer. But that's another issue, isn't it? England won the Test series in Sri Lanka. The Prime Minister sitting in her counting house, counting out her votes. Not looking good, is it, people? And did I say I had dreadful flu last month? Wife still said it was a cold. I think it's time for another one of my in practice. As I say, it's the first week of December, and I suppose the big news in the last month has been that the House of Lords Economic Affairs Committee produced their report regarding HMRC, and it is a fairly damning report, and actually HMRC don't come across very well in any which way. I'm going to read to you what the chairman's comments were on the report, so you know exactly what they said. This is what he said. This is Lord Forsyth of Drumlene, a former Tory MP. He says, HMRC has neglected its responsibility to support small businesses with making tax digital for VAT. HMRC are not listening to small businesses, whilst offering a 6-month deferral to many in the public sector. Small businesses will not be ready for this significant change to their practices if it is introduced on 1st April, particularly with Brexit taking place 3 days earlier. The government must delay its introduction. He went on further. He said, the government has failed to listen to the warnings in our previous report. It must slow down its Making Tax Digital programme and listen carefully to the concerns raised by this committee, small businesses and accountants. That's what the chairman actually said. And as I say, HMRC haven't exactly come off very well in any which way. I think the whole problem with MTD, and let's be 100% honest, no one can dispute that the march to digital agenda is inexplicable, and there's nothing wrong with it. The problem has been HMRC, they've had other things on their mind, haven't they? So they've had to deal with Brexit, etc., etc. But they have not got the message out in time. I mean, we had the letters on VAT going out in November when it's starting in April. There is going to be a lot of messing around in April. I don't know if they'll heed the committee's report and delay MTD for VAT 1 year as they're asking. They may do. We've got to keep our eyes and ears open for that one. It is going to come. Let's not dispute that. What we would have preferred from HMRC is if they'd been on their game, if they'd sorted things out so we could see the linking software, etc., etc., and that they had pushed out far more publicity to the small business sector, not just to accountants expecting us to do their work for them. And obviously we are, because we are looking after our clients. But you know, HMRC should have done much, much more. I think anyone can have seen that. They've just not done enough to get that message out, especially regarding VAT. Why is it? Because maybe they think it's only 1 million businesses are affected, and if they're used to doing VAT returns, they'll pick this up very quickly. You know, I think that's a very strange assumption to have made, and I think basically the committee has hit the nail on the head and said that they're not giving small businesses the credit they deserve, and they're not listening to them, and they're not listening to accountants. You know, everyone I meet at HMRC, that individually they're all really nice people. They're all trying to do their best. One feels for them in the circumstances that they're under, with pressures on this nonsensical tax gap. We've got Brexit coming up. We've got MTD, so they're obviously under pressure, and yet they still hold to the party line that everything's going to come out fine, everything's going to be okay. And you know what? Probably it will. And I think we as accountants will make the biggest help for them. We will get so much done on their behalf because that's what we do. And you know what? They'll no doubt announce that they're MTD for VAT will be a success no matter what, and it will all be down to them. But the reality will be something completely different. Will it be delayed? Who knows? As I say, here in the first week of December, the 31st of January deadline, filing deadline, is looming large, and no doubt, you've already looked at your client list, and you already know, and who hasn't brought their records in, and you know what, you know full well that some of them are the usual old suspects, and you could probably have said this time last year that they were going to be late with their records again this year. You know who they are. And as I go around the country, people are always looking for how can they improve their practice, how can they do better, how can they achieve more. And one of the things I say to them is, look, no one makes you work for a client. You do not have to work for a client. If your client does not respect the work that you do for them, does not respect the fact that, they are not going to get the best service by bringing in their records 5 minutes before the filing deadline, etc., etc. If they do not react to that in the correct way, if they are constantly on the phone whenever they do anything and drive you nuts, you do not have to act for them. Here we are in the first week of December, and if I can say to you now, take a breath, look at that list, look at those lists of the usual suspects who are always this late and causing you this problem. And you know what? As I said at a recent meeting, now would be a really good time to cull those clients. It's the first week of December. You can't be accused of leaving them high and dry. Get those disengagement letters out, cull those clients, get them off your books. And you know what? This time next year, when you look at the list of people who haven't brought them in, and you see they're not there, and you see that list getting small, so much smaller, you'll realise that, that was the right move to make back in December 2018, and it is the right move to make. You don't have to work for clients. Bad clients who do not respect what you're doing, who don't understand, that it is no good to them nor you to bring their records in late, etc. Why do you keep acting for them? In November, we read about the case of the ICAEW accountant who was disciplined for basically, without going too deeply into the case, submitted tax returns on behalf of a client showing refunds of about 5 million, and when pushed on the issue, basically stated something along the lines of that she felt completely out of her depth. Obviously, apart from the feeling of out of depth, there must have been an element of maybe feeling pressured by the client. As we're heading into the 31st January hiatus, it's say the first week of December, we're stepping up now, and more of our tardy clients are bringing their stuff in, so we're full steam ahead, rolling now down to the 31st of January. It's very, very important that accountants take on board that they should never be pressurized by their clients, A, and B, when in doubt, as I always say, don't guess to impress, and if you don't know, seek help. Please seek help. There is plenty available. Here at ICPA, we have helplines across the board, covers all the taxes in all the shapes and all the sizes. In terms of ethics and problems, you can get in touch with us and we can have a discussion with you and help you through it. It is very distressing to me as an accountant to feel that a fellow professional has got to the point that they're saying, they feel out of their depth, and there was obviously nowhere or this person felt there was nowhere to go, or she just didn't twig and she didn't go to get the help that she needed. We're all going to get incredibly busy in the next couple of months. Maybe one or two people, the tendency is you might lose your rag a little bit or get uptight. The thing is be professional. if you have got a problem, there is help out there. Even at, in December and January, there is still help available. Don't think, oh, no one, it's so busy. I've got to get on with my work. There is always help available. As I say, at ICPA, we're always here to help our members. All the major institutes have got people there who will help. So I really hope that no one does feel that, they're out of their depth and there's nowhere to go. There is help available everywhere.